Good evening, Prof. We are from Group 5 for presenting Assignment 9. My name is Cheng Siqing.
My name is Fadatul Aisyah.
My name is Doliwan.
My name is Chu Chamin.
My name is Chin Yilin.
So I will start for the program. So first, public class Form 1 and then private sub Form 1 lot. So for this one, we have data grade view 1 dot column count is 3. So it means we set up the data grid view with 3 columns, and then we assign with array index 0 with ID, and then index 1 with name, and then index 2 for score. And then data grid view 1 dot allow user to add rows is true, and then allow user to delete rows is true. So this means we allow the user to manually add or delete rows in the grid. And then data grid view 1 dot read only is false. So this means we ensure the grid is can edit by user, so it is editable. And then data grid view 1 dot edit mode, data grid view edit mode dot edit on keystroke or F2. So this specifies that the user can edit a cell by typing or pressing the F2 key on the keyboard. So that's all from me.
Okay, now I will continue. Okay, so the private sub button add click, sender as object, E as event arts handles button add dot click. This defines the event handler for the button add, and then whenever the button is clicked, this line of code will run. And then for dim id as string equal to tstid.text.trim, and dim name as string equal tstname.text.trim, and dim score text as string equal to tstscore.text.trim is to retrieve user input from 3 text box: tstid for student id, tstname for name, and tstscore for score. This it's in string but needs to be converted later. And dot trim to remove spaces at the beginning or end. And then if id equal to null or name equal to null or score text equal to null, then message box dot show please fill all fields, return and if it is to check if any text box is empty, and if any are blank, it shows a message box and stops execution, which is return. And then dim score as integer. If not integer dot try pass score text score, then message box dot show score must be a number, return and if. It's to declare a variable score as an integer, and integer dot try pass is to convert score text into a number, and if conversion fails, user type letters instead of numbers. It shows an error message and exits. And then data grid view 1 dot rows add id, name and score. It adds a new row into data grid view 1, and each row contains id, name and score. And then highlight rows is for call another subroutine, name highlight rows. And then the tstid.clear, tstname.clear, and tstscore.clear, it clears all input text box after adding the record, so the user can enter a new data easily. That's all from me.
Okay, so now we continue with the highlight rows procedure. The code for each row in data grid view 1.rows, it means that we loop through rows by rows in the table. Inside the loop, the code for integer try pass is used for check if the value is a number to avoid errors if the cell is empty or text. Inside the try pass, the rows dot cells 2 dot value read score from column 3. The column index is start from 0. If score less than 50, the backgrounds will turn red. Otherwise, the background will stay white. And next, for the average button click, it will run when the average button is clicked. And if data grid view1.rows.count equal to 0, then the message box will show no course available. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, I will continue. So next we declare a variable which is total in double and we initialize with 0. Also with count as integer and initialize with 0. So next we have the for each row as data grid view row. This one is it will go look for each row one by one, and we also declare a variable score as integer. And next, the next line, if the integer try first convert to string row cells to variable score. Okay, that one we will. It means like we take the column tree of each row of the data view row, and it will convert to string, and it will try first to convert it to integer. If it's not integer, it will just invalid. It will just ignore it. Okay. Then it will add the score to the total and also increase the count by 1. Next, if the count is larger than the 0, then it will declare average in double with the formula total divide count. And next, we will convert the average to string in 2 decimal point and display in the label. Yeah, that's all for us.
Okay, so here's the design for this assignment. So if the user enter their ID and then the name and then their score, then if we click the add student button, it will automatically add to the data grid view. And if we key in another student, and then the score below and then the score is below 50, and then if we add, it will become red color. And then we can also add through directly in the data review, like then name just put he. So they will automatic add here. And we also can delete through the data review. Just click and then click the delete. And then we also can calculate average. And then we output average here. Okay, so if we didn't put the name or ID, and then so the score cannot be other than number. And then if the name doesn't input anything, they will tell us to fill all the fields. Yeah, that's all.